Hi viewers, good evening. Well, I did not come back to you yesterday with the part 2 of the runway theory. Reason being, I broke myself, and so today I had to buy a new one, which was a nice thing, and therefore I'm back again. Well, we ended with where I told you about the earthquake and how I devised the runway theory from there. I'll tell you how it happened. After the earthquake got over, the next 20 days were quite bad and traumatic. In fact, they were very traumatic for the entire of the zone that I was living in, because I only know about Ahmedabad. The epicenter was Bhuj and Kutch, of course, but it was very traumatic for a very simple reason, that when you are unaware that destiny is going to hit you hard, or you're going to die, or there is a devastation that's going to happen, you are not in trauma. But when you are aware and you are in fear and apprehension, the trauma is there. So that's how it was very traumatic, and people were sleeping outside and the works, like I told you in my previous video. Now a very strange thing happened. What happened was that the number of people who had died in that 4 minutes and a few seconds of the earthquake, where the Richter scale was very high, were lesser than the number of people who died afterwards. In the sense that, I'll give you an example. One of the days on the roads of the cantonment, there were some 2 men who were standing on the 3rd story, and somebody yelled that there is a earthquake coming, earthquake coming. What had happened was, there was a slight tremor that had happened, and without looking left, right, center, these 2 guys jumped down from the 3rd floor and they died. Similarly, Ahmedabad has a lot of high-rise buildings. So a lot of people who were living on the 11th, 10th, 8th, 9th, 7th, 6th, 5th floor, most of them, in fact loads of them, injured themselves and died, not because the earthquake was happening, but because as the earthquake happened, the earthquake was over, but by the time people realized there was an earthquake, there was a chaos, a ruckus created, and everybody wanted to get down, which was obvious. They all wanted to run out of their home and get down to the ground floor and on the roads. Now for that they had to come down the stairs, and there was a stampede and loads of people died in that stampede. Similarly, ये ट्रेमर की बात सुन के जब लोग भागते थे, stampede create हो जाता था और लोग, the people were dying. So when the calculations were done, I don't know about the statistics and data as would be recorded anywhere before you people come back to me about it. So I will not even say about the statistics and data, but that is where when I thought about it years later, I realized it was actually the runway theory. You know, the runway theory is all about, we all know about the aircrafts in which we travel, and we know that जितना smooth runway है, जितना लंबा वो runway होता है, जितना अच्छा वो runway होता है, उतना बहुत ज़्यादा smooth उस aircraft का take off होता है. There is science and engineering, actually no science, but a lot of engineering and technicality involved in that. And like science, even engineering and technicality is involved in our day-to-day lives. So जितना छोटा runway होता है, जितना अनस्मूथ टेक ऑफ होता है एयरक्राफ्ट्स के लिए, उतना बुरा उनका टेक ऑफ होता है, एंड द फ्लाइट देयर आफ्टर बिकम्स बैड. सो द पॉइंट इज कि हमारी लाइफ भी कुछ ऐसी ही है. जब हम लुक एट द अर्थक्वेक फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन द अर्थक्वेक वाज ओवर, जितनी बार लोगों को पता चला ट्रेमर आ रहा है, people started running and there was stampede and they died. Now, if we take a runway on things, it gives us time to think, it gives us time to understand, absorb, and during that time, surprisingly, the negativity, it does get converted into positivity. It does. You know, we see people and the immediate impact of when we see people is due to the appearances. So what we do is we don't like them, or we discard them, or we don't want to talk to them. But over a period of time, and we even make an opinion, we even opinionize about them publicly. But over a period of time, as we get to know them and live with them, we start realizing that they're nice people and they're friends and they have goodness. And 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, suddenly we find people who we had disliked become very good friends. So we had taken the runway. But just, it's too bad, because before we take the runway, we have opinionized about them publicly, and then when we come back to saying they are nice, we have to give logic and reason to people in front of whom we had opinionized in the negative opinion. Now, I'll give you another example of the runway theory. When I was working in a metro, and Fridays is normally a very heavy traffic day after 6 o'clock everywhere, pan-India. Pan-India, importantly, I don't know about the smaller cities, but yes, metros, it is definitely 5 o'clock afterwards, especially on Friday evenings, there's a heavy traffic, heavy rush. So I was driving down on Friday evening. In 3 years of work, I knew every Friday evening on that particular area there is traffic, and it takes 1 hour exactly to cross that red light. This was normal, it was ditto, it was indomitable, it was indispensable, it had to happen, and I knew it. But I'll tell you how the runway theory worked for me. So now what happened was, I came on that road. As soon as I hit that place, I went and I had to put my car on a halt, neutral gear. As always, I was stuck in the traffic. Normal, it happened with me every Friday. But as always, I did not want to take the runway theory. And my car was stuck. On the left side of my car, there was a WagonR. On the right side of my car, there was a truck, and the doors could not have opened. So for about 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, I was easy. After 15 minutes, I rolled down the windows and I switched off the AC because I didn't want to run out on the petrol. The weather was bad and humid, and I started peeping out of the windows, out of the window from my right side, yelling like others were yelling. Even I started yelling and shouting, what is happening, and why is this happening, and why can't the police do something? And I was being rude to anybody and everybody I could talk about, especially the traffic police. But this is every Friday that it used to happen. Irrespective, I was doing this. And I had herds of other people also doing the same thing. But when I suddenly turned towards the left, I saw this guy in the WagonR who had his windows rolled up, probably the AC was on, and he was very happily mumming along and humming along. I could see his lip movement, and his head was swaying like this, which was very, very clearly visible that there was some music playing, and he was humming along and sitting very easily. I went knocking on his door, rolled down my window and went knocking on his door, because I was annoyed with him. More than the circumstances and more than the fact that there was a traffic jam, I was annoyed with him, that when everybody is upset and everybody is yelling and shouting, why the bloody hell is he not yelling and shouting? He looked at me, smiled, and he carried on. Well, this carried on for an hour, and with every passing minute, my annoyance kept becoming bad and bad and bad, and it went to worse. In between, I got loads of calls from home, because that evening I and Deepak were to go out for a dinner. Coming were 2 holidays for me, because Saturday, Sunday was not a working day, not for Deepak, and it was a family outing that was to happen that day. My Sharvi was just about a year old. So after an hour, this man kept humming and mumming and nicely singing. After an hour, as always, the traffic started mellowing down and we moved on. But it was already an hour of anger, annoyance, cribbing, abusing everybody left, right, center. And the one man that I was most annoyed with and most upset with was that man in the WagonR, because he was not upset with life. And when I reached home, I was already very angry. I reached home not 7:45, We were to leave at 8 o'clock, so Deepak expected me to rush, change and go with him. Shavi came running to me, mama, 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 like she always used to. And the first thing that I did was took out the, the garbage truck. So my garbage went out on my garbage truck, Shavi. And I was like, please, I yelled out to my maid and I said, take her away. I just don't want to talk to her. The poor child started crying, not knowing what wrong had she done. And then as I entered, Deepak very, very sweetly was like, okay, so change fast and we have to go. I said, please, I'm not interested in going in a party. You don't even know what's happened with me at work and you're just interested in parties. I started yelling. He did not. He knows when I take off like this. So he just said, okay, you chill, and he went off. So they had a nice weekend party and they all enjoyed. Whereas I sulked and sulked and sulked, went off to sleep. Saturday was bad because Friday evening had been bad. I sulked even more. Sunday was even worse. By the time I realized that I was sulking for no reason, it was already Sunday afternoon. And just Monday morning blues had started happening. Well, Monday morning, I came back to work and I was called by my boss to his cabin. And there he wanted me to meet one of our clients, a would-be client. And as I turned to say hi to the client, guess what? The client was the same man who I had met on Friday evening in the Wagon-R adjacent to my car, who was humming to the music while I was getting upset with him. And he very sweetly, with a smile on his face, asked me, so how was your weekend? I said, don't even ask, it was horrible. And I asked him, how was yours? He said, lovely. I reached home and I went out for dinner, and Saturday, Sunday was picnic time and it was lots of fun. We both went through the same circumstances. Every Friday we both used to go through the same. But the point was, he took the runway. I did not. He knew that this is going to happen and he just took the runway because he could not have done anything else. I did not. Result, I had a bad landing. I crashed up. I spoiled it for my daughter. I spoiled it the evening with my husband. I did not go out with friends. I had a bad Saturday. Sunday was ruined. Monday morning was bad. And lo and behold, I meet this man who was going to be a client and hire me as a corporate trainer. And instead of me trying to train him, he went on to train me that fighting and not taking the runway and taking off without the runway will take you to a crash landing. That's what happened to the people in the earthquake also. That is why probably the statistics said there were more deaths that happened during the earthquake, after the earthquake, than during the earthquake. So that was the runway theory, and that is how I devised this theory, which helped me understand that it's very easy to turn negativity into positivity if we take the runway theory. It helps us ease down. So that was all that I wanted to speak about today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye, good night. Hasta la vista.